Chapter 16, Two Households. Less than a week later, you and Roy walk side by side as you make your way through the downtown New Athens. The whole city is on edge, and you're no exception. I know it cramps your style to have to walk with an old man, but we don't have any other choice. You're not that old, Roy. Not a day past 70. Roy gives you a good-natured chuckle, but the levity doesn't last. I knew the war was going to heat up fast. I just didn't think it would be this fast. Roy halts you at an intersection. As soon as he's sure the coast is clear, he motions for you to cross, protectively guiding you from with his hand all the while. Never underestimate the Flints when it comes to taking advantage of a situation. The task force never had a chance without Throng. I still can't believe Throng just walked away. You push down the uncomfortable feeling you get every time you picture the mayor up on the stage. I know we blackmail on her, but she talked so much about loving the city. I didn't think she would just abandon it. Didn't she realize how many people were going to get killed once the pressure was off the Flints? We can't do this alone. Nature and mob, a whore, a vacuum. Where have I heard that before? Aristotle. I didn't take you as a reader. I have layers, kids. A group of rough-looking men emerges from a store on the opposite side of the street. Roy immediately clocks them, shifting positions so he's covering your flank. They clock him back and giving him a meaningful nod. But Roy stays close, keeping his voice low. Wolf sympathizers, but you can never be too careful. Apparently okay. The men pass without incident, and you release a long, shaky breath. At least the Flints haven't ventured too deep in our territory, but they're just poking at the fringes, looking for vulnerabilities loudly. Very perceptive, but don't get too comfortable, it's only a matter of time. The car turns at the far end of the street. Tires skid as it takes the corner at high speed. Your phone buzzes with an instant text. There's only 2 words. Take cover. Your stomach drops to your feet as you recognize the number. It's the Flint's enforcer you recruited that day at the docks. Roy, get down! What the... Now! Grab Roy by the front of his shirt and shove him into the alley. He stumbles backward as you dive on top of him. The smell of burnt rubber mixes with gasoline as the car mounts the curb, tearing through the sidewalk where you were just standing. Bullets pepper the side of the glass-fronted building as the passenger of the car opens fire. Watch your head. Yours first, kid. You crouch low and carefully peer back towards the car. You manage to get a good cover in the alley, and try as they might, your attackers can't hit you without leaving their vehicle. Roy draws a sidearm. You reach for yours too, but he places his hand over yours, surprisingly gentle amidst the chaos. Stay down, I'm not letting them get away with this. You see a bright flash as Roy squeezes the trigger and pops off a tightly spaced spread of 6 rounds. The Flint's tilted windshield spiderwebs and shatters. The tires squeal as the driver throws the vehicle into reverse. Roy, get to safety. It's not worth getting hit. Roy ducks down beside you, his heavy breath as he regains his bearings. Stay where you are. They can't come back for another round without risking everything. His words prove true. Within seconds, you're left hunched and full adrenaline as the car speeds away to safety. Cowards. As soon as the coast is clear, Roy rushes to help you to your feet. What's the damage? Brushing yourself off, you check for injuries. Other than some light bruising along your arm, you came out of the shooting unscathed. I'm good. The text from my informant just came in time. This is the one you acquired while on the run from me in Turquesa? You gave him a pained smile. That's damn, yeah. It does take the sting out of it a little. Both scan the street for signs of a second attack. The only movement is a woman running out of the shot-up building. She stops a few feet from the bullet-ridden wall and pile of broken glass, too fixated on the mess to notice you. I just said these were finished, stupid wolves! You let a sigh, rubbing your temples as the angry woman goes back to inspecting the damage. Perfect. Another person pissed off at my family for something that isn't even our fault. All the families are the same to these people. You kick at a dusty pile of debris, a familiar sense of frustration starting to mount. Well, you know, if Nadia and your parents take each other out, you and Victor can actually get along and mend the families together. It's, you know, besides that, you know. We need fewer new Athens wishing us bodily harm, not more. Between the Flints and my parents, we're lucky if the whole town doesn't turn on us. A woman like that doesn't have to be an enemy. Repairing this place would be pennies for you. If you play your hand right, you might even be able to get a favor or two. I'll cover the damages. Really? You're right. We shouldn't let an opportunity like this go to waste. Go charm the hell out of her, kid. Just don't leave my line of sight. There's always a chance Flint's will return to finish what they started. You put on your blandest, most innocent expression and approach the hotel manager. Wow, did you see what just happened? It was horrible. I only caught the tail end, but it was enough. I can't believe people are shooting at buildings in broad daylight. I've lived here my whole life. It's never been this bad. New Athens is becoming a Flint war zone. That was a Flint enforcer behind the wheel of a car. How could you tell? The work was sloppy. There were probably 10 different security cameras that got their license plate. You should report them. I can't do that. Who'd protect me? You're looking at her. You hold her your hand with an easy smile. She looked you up and down, unconvinced. Come on, just hear me out. My name's Diamond. What's yours? Hotel manager considers for a moment, then she meets your outstretched hand. You shake it, happy to find that your nerves have settled enough to keep your arm steady. I'm Holly. It's a pleasure, Holly. How can I help? She frowns down at the mess and sighs heavily, but she beckons you into the lobby. You shoot Roy a quick look. He gives you a subtle thumbs up and repositions himself to see into the hotel's partially broken windows. You follow her inside. I don't think you can help. We've got a meeting of VIPs coming in tomorrow morning. If I don't get this repaired, I might lose my job. She goes behind the desk and begins clicking through the computer. Her hands a flurry and her face even more frazzled. I'm sure your bosses will understand. It's not like you could have planned for this. They expect me to plan for everything. I know the feeling. Half the lobby's exposed with the picture windowed out, and it definitely isn't the budget. Actually, I might have a solution for that. Really? I could bring in my repair guys. I got a whole team ready to come out at a moment's notice. What kind of person is Glazier's on retainer? My family works in construction. All I ask in return is a chance to borrow a room or two for a few hours off the books for meetings and other types of visits. I can hide our guests' names, but I can't act like you aren't here. I think you and I both know that isn't true. I'm sure there are plenty of important people who need this level of privacy. Like those VIPs coming tomorrow. The fingers hover just above the keys. That's all you want, really? Just a room every now and then? That and information on anyone important visiting. I bet a hotel like yours sees a lot of big names come and go. Absolutely. I mean, just last month the governor stayed with us. Though, like I said, we really aren't supposed to share information about our guests. What's a little gossip between friends? I don't know. Something seems too good to be true. Can I have some time to think about it? I need to get going. I bet maybe this will help. You pull out your checkbook and scroll out a figure that'll cover the full cost of the repairs and then some. What's your last name, Holly? Chang. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can just make it out to the hotel. Oh no. You deserve compensation too. I can't imagine how stressful this is. Take a spa day. Text me for a recommendation. You offer her your card and then hand the check to her before she can argue any further. Are you sure you meant to put that many zeros? Her eyes grow wide. She notices your name at the top. Wait, Diamond Wolf? Yeah, Holly, does this seem like a reasonable start to our friendship? She nods, barely able to contain her sudden burst of excitement. She's obviously heard of you and how lucrative it can be on your payroll. Of course, Miss Wolf, anything you need. Well, good, then I'll be in touch after about the rest. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. You step carefully out of the broken glass as you head out to rejoin Roy. He flashes you a smile, though you can tell he's chomping at the bit to get you somewhere safe. Looks like it went well. It always does. They say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy loyalty. Sometimes it's pretty damn close. Roy gets you to the car without further incident. It feels good to be surrounded by the safety and comfort of your own vehicle. Oh wow, didn't realize how tense I was until this exact moment. Getting shot at will do that to a person. Did you want to head home? Imagining having another "we're both mad and disappointed" conversation with your parents when your phone buzzes. I'm hanging around the industrial district. Any chance you can slip your leash today? I don't have a leash. I have a jeweled collar. It's different. Is that a no on the escape plan? I need to see you. You sneak a peek over at Roy, shaking your bodyguard isn't going to be easy, or wise, but it's Vic. I have to get rid of Roy first. It might take a while. He's feeling protective today. I'll be here when you're ready. You tuck your phone away, trying to quash the rising heat to your cheeks. Putting a few hours in Vic's arms is sure to help me forget the shootout and the rest of the world. You clear your throat and meet Roy's gaze through the rearview mirror. Roy, take me to the industrial district. The industrial district? The kitchen at the Club Caviar is straight out of the 70s. We need to upgrade to complete. But it isn't cheap. Mom's always saying go straight to the manufacturer. There's a long pause where all you hear is the hum of the road, and he lets out a sigh. I hope you know what you're doing, kid. What do you mean? You don't have to lie to me. I saw the way you looked at him in the club, the way you're looking at your phone now. I'm taking you to meet Victor Flint, aren't I? Roy, have you been spying on me? I thought you were supposed to be my friend. I'm your bodyguard, Diamond. My objective is to keep you safe. Even if that means saving you from yourself. It's not what you think. Vic isn't like the other Flints. He's... Trail off, unsure to sum up everything he makes you feel. You don't have to explain, despite your parents, what they seem to think. You're an adult, and you can make your own choices. So you can stop giving me the puppy-eyed look. I won't say anything you don't want me to. You won't? Just as long as you don't. As you know, I don't trust that boy. Not even a little. Roy, you don't have to worry. Vic would never hurt me. He glances at you in the rearview mirror. It's a look of judgment and concern. How well do you know him? I mean, really know him? I know he cares about me. The Vic I know is sweet, caring, and troubled, and I trust him with my life. That may be true, but I've been in the game long enough time. I've seen firsthand how cruel Vic can be. I know he was caught with Dylan a few times. That wasn't up to him. Dylan wasn't with Vic when I saw him. You take your lower lip between your teeth and stare out the window, watching as the city slips by. I didn't know you two had come into direct contact before. I didn't want to say anything until I had no other choice. And that's now? You almost died today, Diamond. It's my job to keep that from happening, and you're starting to make it a habit. If you're gonna risk it all, I want you to know the whole truth. Even if you don't like what I have to tell you. I want to understand him. You don't have to hold back on my account. Whatever's Vic done, I can handle it. You might want to hold that judgment until the end. He pulls the car off to the side of the road. He gets out and opens the passenger side door for you, inviting you up front. You sit down. Nerves buzzing. You're still struggling to prepare your first question for Roy when he gets in the driver's side. His face is graver than you've ever seen it. You don't have to look so serious. I can really handle this. My brother was gunned down before I was legally allowed to drive. Gunned down by Vic's father. Vic isn't his father. Clyde wasn't the smart target to take out. Your father was right there. Your mother too. Hector Prozorov went for the one who would hurt the most. And it's not the first time. You don't kill kids. Didn't treat Clyde like a kid. No one did. You fight back an angry sob as your rage at your brother finally comes out. You aren't sure if you're angry at him for leaving you, or for hurting people, or just angry is all you feel right now. He wasn't a victim. He's the one who taught me to shoot before someone shoots you. He valued violence. Violence with a purpose, Diamond. Violence when there's no better option. Do you remember a few years back when your parents sent me to mediate an argument between the Flints and the Decker family? Yeah, something to do with payment or protection payments? Usually we'd let the Deckers clean up their own mess. That's their job after all. But the Flints had complaints about their disposal methods. So the Deckers were leaving things behind for the feds, and they were going to up their debt until the Deckers made it right. We take snitching very seriously. It was better for everyone to get things settled once and for all. And Vic was there? He wasn't just their kid. He was representing the whole Flint family. But that was so long ago. We were both barely 18. Yeah, exactly. The right age for Nadia Flint to make him prove his worth. How do you think he became an enforcer? How do you think he stopped being a Prozorov and became a Flint? So, I show up to Lancaster to find this 18-year-old kid with a Decker tied to a chair. His fingers are bloody, the mook's pleading for his life. It's a delicate balance torture. Go too far, and the information becomes unreliable. Stay too safe, and you don't get the information at all. I'm sure Nadia told Flint to start without me, but that just shows he takes orders he shouldn't. You mean... So what? You've done 100 interrogations of your own. Hell, when I was little, I was once in charge of getting you to ice packs for your hand afterwards. I do what it takes to get information, Diamond, to keep the family safe. But Vic, he was lost in it. Any hope of useful intel was long gone, and he just wouldn't stop. I had to tear him away from the guy. Vic fought back. Roy adjusts his jaw as if still smarts from the memory. But above good fight, too. To throw him across the room before he gave up. If the Deckers were helping the feds, maybe Vic was trying to send a message. The message he was sending was that the Flint family can't be trusted, and the Wolf family can't keep them in line. He was supposed to wait for me. I was a neutral party. One who kept stuff like this from happening. It's disrespectful and dangerous. That's how the Flints are. You can't help how he was raised. It wasn't how the Flints were, Diamond. Not when Leo Flint was running things. Okay, so the problem is Nadia. You said she probably told Vic to start without you. The problem is all of them. Vic's a wild card. No one can be sure what he'll do next. I can. Everyone in the mob walks this line. Even you. Even me. Not like this. You sigh, knowing you're not gonna win this argument. So, what did you do after the interrogation? I told the other families. Flints were reprimanded. The rat was found. All's well that ends well. I was told Vic got a little overexcited. He's 18, right? It happens. Years pass. And Nadia found out about our informants. Wait, we had spies inside the Flints? Operative word had. It was a whole network. Your mom recruited each one personally, set up a home base, the works. Then Nadia found out. She sent Vic and Dylan to take care of the problem, starting with the busted up meeting at the safe house. I was the one who had to collect the bodies and ID them. Though, that was its own jigsaw puzzle. He swallows. You've never seen Roy this vulnerable, this shaken. What was you said about sending a message? Roy, it must have been Dylan. This sick bastard probably gets off on it. A level of carnage was a two-man job. No one could have done it alone. Those men didn't deserve to die like that. No one does. Rats or no. That's horrible. Didn't sound like him at all. Let me talk to him, alright? Diamond, you're not listening to me. You don't know how he'll respond when you do. I do know, Roy. You said you trust me, so trust me. Slip your hand over Roy's and give it a reassuring squeeze. If it helps, Vic doesn't really show me that side of himself. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You smile sadly up at him. Fair enough, but he keeps it hidden from me. It's not part of our story. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Violence might not be part of your story, but it's a central theme of Vic's. I promise you, Vic wants to keep me safe just as much as you do. He's got so much pain and fear inside. He tries to hide it, but he's still just a sweet 15-year-old kid. He lost his dad, felt helpless that he grabbed for the only lifeline he could find. We're the ones who took his dad away from him. He's a grown man, Diamond. Makes grown man mistakes. They're mistakes I've seen before. Out of the death of men who killed Karina. Diamond, they tried to kill you. But once the killing starts, it doesn't stop. Was the violence... was that with purpose? Was the purpose anything other than my own need for revenge? We could have turned them. We could have grilled them for information. Instead, they just became another need for spring cleaning. My parents changed when they lost Clyde. I changed. Vic changed too. I know he used to be different. I've seen it. But that means he can be that way again. There's not always a way of going back. Roy pauses to give you a long, thoughtful stare. I just want to make sure you're being careful. You crane your neck and press a quick peck to his cheek. He seems surprised but pleased at the show of affection. Thanks for looking out for me. I know I'm a pain in the ass, but I'm an appreciative pain in the ass. You never have to thank me, Diamond. Taking care of you and your family has been the greatest honor of my life. You feel a surge of warmth towards your bodyguard. Sending him to wash over you was the best gift your parents ever gave you. Don't worry, Roy. If anything bad happens, you'll be the first to know. Until then, I promise I can handle Victor Flint. Roy starts the car again and pulls back out onto the road. Whatever you say, kid. Doesn't mean I'm about to let you stay out of my sights. You and Roy pull up to an abandoned building in the industrial district. The location is perfect for a quiet, private meeting between friends or friends. Wait here, Roy. I think I see Vic in the doorway. Just stay where I can see you, okay? I'm willing to trust you, but Vic is another story. You hop out of the car and hurry towards Vic. He's pacing up and down the sidewalk, obviously waiting for you. Hey, stranger. Come here often? Diamond, finally. He sweeps you up in his arms. The moment his head dips towards yours, you hitch a leg against him and go in for a kiss. Now this is how a guy likes to be greeted. His mouth is hungry as his lips meet yours. As soon as you feel the slide of his tongue, you're a goner. Twining your arms around his neck, you pull him deeper and deeper into your embrace. Remember, Roy is watching. Oh god, we can't do this here. Why not? You're hot, I'm not willing. And there's a perfectly good wall here for me to take you up against. You force yourself to breathe deep and take a step back with Roy's watchful eyes on you. It's best to keep things above the waist. What took you so long to get here anyway? I'm starting to worry about that. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. What happened? I just heard some stories about you. His whole body goes tense. From who? What kind of stories? One's about what you've done for the Flints. The people you've hurt and killed, and how. Your heart rate spikes for just a moment as he grabs you by the waist and tugs you close, his voice growing suddenly rough. I warned you that I wasn't a good man, Diamond, that I've done a lot of things I regret. And with a long, shuddering sigh, he presses his forehead against yours. All I can promise you is that I want to get better for you and for us. That's what I told my source. He lets out a sigh of relief, leaning in to kiss you again. You gently hold him back, gesturing over your shoulder at Roy's car. He's checking every point of your surroundings while also letting his eye slide by the two of you without lingering. A valiant attempt at giving you privacy. I thought you were going to ditch your bodyguard. If he knows about us... Don't worry. Roy would never betray me. He could have told my parents about us, but he didn't. He has my best interests at heart. That's what I'm afraid of. I tried to shake him, but he's been on to us for a while now. You wave and smile at Roy in his car across the street to show him that all is well. He nods back at you both. See? He's not out to get you. Not yet, anyway. You brush a soft kiss against his mouth. Don't be angry. He's trustworthy. And if you ask me, it's kind of nice to have the extra protection. You don't need extra protection. I'd never let anyone hurt you. You shake your head without a sad sigh. It's an easy promise to make when you aren't with me all the time. Don't remind me. Some Flint guys sped through the wolf territory trying to shoot me earlier. You're sure they were Flints? Other families would never do this, and you know it. They want peace. Vic is watching you, the gears clearly turning in his head. These men could have killed me, and Vic. They could have killed Roy. Do you know what my parents would do if that happened? What they would probably will do when they find out? God damn it, no one told me. I would have... Trails off, you speak up quickly. Blame it on Nadia. She's the one using underhanded tactics. We can't de-escalate if she keeps doing this and denying it. Seeing you is already getting harder and harder. Something were to happen. I know. There's already been so much blood spilled. Vic reaches for you, his palm pressing flat against yours. It's almost as though he needs to reassure himself that you're still here and still alive. Sometimes it feels like they won't stop until the river runs red. That doesn't mean I'm gonna stand idly by and let them kill you. Just wait until I find out who's responsible. I'll make them pay. The ferocity in his voice causes a shiver to run down your spine. This is the side effect that Roy warned me about. You open your mouth to speak, but a flashing of alternating red and blue lights draws your attention. You turn in time to see a police cruiser barreling down the street. You're sure it's about to speed past, but then it squeals to a stop right in front of you. You squint, trying to recognize the man behind the windshield. One of yours? Not that I know of. You're about to make eye contact with Roy across the street when the cop steps out, an ugly sneer on his face. His gaze flicks over to Vic before settling on you. Stand back. Hands above your head. We weren't... You freeze as the cop pulls out his gun, points it directly at you. Whoa. What the... Diamond Wolf, you're under arrest. Yay! Handcuffs are involved. No, I'm kidding. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below. Links to a bunch of cool stuff. Feel free to check it out. Without further ado, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this chapter. Short, sweet, to the point. Wasn't too bad, in my honest opinion. I will say the following. So, here's my mentality on guys, right? Every guy should be a beast. Then, every guy should be able to contain that beast, right? I've had this talk with you guys before. I know what I'm capable of. Everyone should know what they're capable of. But you tame it. You put it in a cage, is about the best way to put it. So one day, when you need, if you ever have to protect someone you love, you release that cage. You open it and let it go. Okay? Because people who don't know what they're capable of, they're going to give into that fight or flight response, right? A lot of people need to test themselves, see if they are able to, if they're going to run. And is it okay if you run? Especially if you're going to leave someone you care about behind? No. Also got to learn street smarts, a lot of other things. So, you know, I can honestly say I don't think there's a thing that I've ever done that I'm not proud of, right? And I can say, honestly, there's a lot of things I am proud of. But again, I've never had to do, you know, Vic type stuff, but I just know what I'm capable of, right? And I like, for the people that I love, I will fight fiercely for. And yeah, no, I have kind of like a hero complex where I would literally give my life for a stranger. That's just the person I know I'm capable of being. I know I am. And a lot of people can honestly not say that. A lot of people, they just pull out their phones when something's going on, and I'm not going to pull out my phone. I'm literally going to go up and stop whatever's going on, or at least try. So, that's the world we live in. You know, it's 2023, and a lot of people just pull out their phones and make little videos and then post it on this site or a lot of other places, and, you know, that's the type of people they are. And I'm not one of those. So, thanks for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Catch y'all later. Peace out.